What's up, YouTube? I know that there are a lot of lives going on, but it's 12 o'clock and I'm going to bed in a few minutes. You know, I just sit back and look over some things, you all, and I know my life is not perfect, but I wouldn't trade it with anyone else, especially with people on this YouTube apparatus. And hey, Rainy Bow, it's just me and you, but I'm going to talk and I'm going to let it go today. I'm going to let it go. But I am glad to have my life. I was born in a family that lived in a trailer park until I was 5 years old. Then we moved into a house. Very happy to have a mother and a mother and a father who took care of me. What's up? This beach is better. A dad who worked and a mom who worked and made sure that we were clothed, we were well behaved, took us to church, taught us how to be civil individuals. Thank God for family who had health insurance so I could keep all my teeth. They pushed education. And I'm just happy to have a family who was well involved in my life. Thank God for brothers and sisters who graduated from high school and went on to college because they valued education and they knew education would be the key. I'm happy because of that. And I'm happy to where I am now. Oh no, nobody's trolling about my upbringing. I'm quite proud of my upbringing. There's nothing to be ashamed about. But if you sit back and if you be quiet and if you listen, you'll get the whole gist of the story. I'm not finished. But if you sit back and if you hold on, it'll make sense to you. I promise it. I promise you it will. And it's really interesting that you bring that up. See, you can't shame me in my upbringing because I look at where we are now. And no one who takes pride in getting child support, who's living in public housing and have no front teeth, could ever make me feel bad. No one whose survival was living with a man and the man unfortunately passes and you have to live in a halfway house or boarding house and make donuts and have roaches and rats in your car can make me feel bad. You can't. And far as me coming out, I came out to the right thing. I didn't make stupid mistakes. I was a smart gay man. I got my education first. So I didn't have to worry about a man taking care of me because I could take care of myself. And at this particular point, I don't have to make the donuts. I buy them. And I'm happy because of that. And that's just the reality of it. See, I came out smart. I came out extremely wise. I went at the club at age 14 and all of this stuff. And it's really interesting because, some people, let me say this about sexuality. I think it is a spectrum. I think it is a spectrum. Some men have never seen the vagina before. much less felt it or even had sex with it. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people. But if it makes you all feel good and if it makes you all comfortable, so be it. But that's the whole thing. I have to prove anything to anybody who's made these egregious decisions with their lives. You mean to tell me you got $50,000 and you still living in a converted apartment with an air conditioning unit hanging out of it, and I'm supposed to feel some kind of way? Mm. I don't have to have anybody to stay in my house to make rent, or I don't have to be attached to a person to have my own home. I want y'all to get that. And the person who I love has his own home. And he stays at my house and I stay at his house because we have homes. They're our homes. Yeah. And so I think it's really funny that people who have a lot of problems, and don't get me wrong, we all have problems. We do. But I'm going to keep mine because mine are doable and I have options. And a lot of these people don't have options. You got a whole grown woman thinking that her mom has a real degree and they graduated on Christmas Eve and got the degree on New Year's Day and they think that's reputable. I laugh. That doesn't bother me. And I just think it's really funny. I think it's really funny. Let me say something. I respect King Roman. You know why I respect King Roman? Because King Roman has done the work. King Roman has gone to school to better himself, and King Roman has options. And I respect that. I look at some of these content creators and shake my head because, unfortunately, this is the only thing of substance they have ever had. This is the closest thing to leadership that they will ever see. And they cling and they hold on to it and they try to take down other people because it means so much to them, not realizing that people who got their stuff together, they're doing a lot more off these YouTube cameras than all. And when we praise mediocrity and when we praise fighting and all of this crazy foolishness over civil conversation, then I'm glad that I'm out. You know, when I started this YouTube thing, it was a phenomenon. It happened. It was entertainment. And that's how I really saw it, as entertainment. Easy, low fruit entertainment. It was nothing for me to roast and gag. But as you evolve, you say, you know what? I'm better than this. And these people really have some issues. You have people with incest going on in the family, alcoholic mamas, drug addict mamas and daddies. And I'm not saying that people can't come out of it, but these people have not really addressed their issues. And it's playing out on YouTube. You have a whole woman, again, with no front teeth, neglect charges, and bragging that a man gives her $1,000. And some people think that is great. I think it's sad. Then you have a young lady who has so much potential and is really intelligent, but she self sabotages herself at every level. And as confident as she is, there's insecurity there. See, I don't feel insecure when I step in the room. Again, I have options. I have options. And it's so good to have options. And I know that people may have issues with my education, but it has worked so beautifully for me, especially with what I do. And the bottom line is, whatever you think about me, it really doesn't matter. There are people who have tried to take me out far as careers and everything, but it won't work because I have options. And the reason why people do that is because they feel left behind. They feel that that should have been them. They have problems. And don't get me wrong, we all have problems. We all have issues, but I'm going to keep mine because I know how to work it. Let me say this. If I am not romantically interested in you, if I am not sleeping with you and want a relationship with you, my sexuality and who I love is none of your damn business. Whether someone wants to be private about their personal life or they want to be public, I think that's up to them. And when you have somebody and when you have love in your life, you're really not concerned about anybody else. You're just concerned about what you have. And maybe if some of you all get somebody, you wouldn't have to worry about me. I'm perfectly fine. And when I was single, I was never lonely, just single. And I may be 50 something, but I don't have those problems. And again, I didn't have to have a man to take care of me or to buy me a house or make decisions for me or do all of these things. And don't get me wrong, I don't have an issue with people having men, but some of you all have roommates, and some of these men are economic boosters for you because if you didn't have them, you wouldn't be half as well off as you are, and you know that to be true. Mm. And I just look at that kind of stuff and I just really laugh. And I'm like, wow, this is where we have gone. I'm going to give Brian his props. We can talk about Brian being crazy, but Brian is smart enough to know that I need further education because there's some dreams that I have. And I need to I need to invest in me. And he went to school and he did it. And I'm not mad at you. See, I'm never going to hate anybody who's really trying to do something with their life. But we have negligent parents. We have people who are focused on the wrong things. We have people who have substance abuse issues. And I think that if they sweep around their own front porch, they don't have time to be on anybody else's. And that's what I truly believe. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm sure people will have a lot of things to say, and that's fine with me. I just think that some things need to be said. As that famous Diana Ross song say, do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Do you like what you're hoping for? What do you do when there's no open door? Where are you going to? Do you know? See, that's the real deal. Do you really know? Do you really know? Rainy Boat, but the song is true. I have checked most things off of my list. And right now, it's just enjoying life now. I have done everything that I have set out to do. And now it's just checking the box and doing what I need to do. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And if people were more concerned about their education, and I'm not even talking about college education, I'm talking about high school education. If they were more focused on that, then they would be farther ahead than what they are now. You have a whole content creator who could barely read, did not know how to take a main point out of a paragraph, and felt inadequate because he was not a Renaissance man. He didn't read magazines. He didn't do any of those things. And I just find it hilarious that you're worried about me coming out where you should have been worried about doing better in high school. Just find that amusing. I'm gonna keep my life. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Was laid off from a job, was on YouTube, and got a lot of training and did a lot of things, even when I was on YouTube. And didn't have to, and again, there are a lot of things going on with a lot of content creators, and there are a lot of good things going on, but we don't share. We don't share things here because here is where dreams come to die. If you have any aspirations, you don't tell people here because these people don't celebrate excellence. They don't celebrate people moving ahead. They like to destroy that. And there are a lot of content creators who would love to share with you all to really give you some good content. But because of the resentment and because of jealousy, which shouldn't even be amongst us, we just don't. We just don't. I know a content creator who just finished their degree and they're not going to tell anybody because they're too afraid of being doxxed. But I'm happy for them. So there are a lot of things going on in people's lives. We just don't share it. And as much as we like to, we just don't. There are some awesome things happening with me, but I dare not share them on YouTube. If I were to ever tie the knot, I don't think I would share that with you all. And I would honestly take my ring off before I would even come on a show because people are just that resentful. And I don't think all of you are like that, but there are a lot of people who are. And again, I just don't cast my pearls before swine, lest they trample them. And yeah, you learn. You learn. I think YouTube in the past was open, honest. People could really share. You can't do that at this particular time. And y'all know people can't. You know people can't. The sad part about it is that um, MU was going to school and the people were calling the school. Here is this woman trying to do something for herself, trying to better her life, and people are calling a school. And I'm like, that is pure stupidity. But that's where we are now. So content gets dumbed down, and this is what we get. Well, Straight Gate, I'm not even familiar with that. I can just only go on what they have done here. It's really funny because people swear I didn't have a job and they swear I wasn't ordained. And then they called where I work and they found out that I was working. It's funny. It's funny because they only prove that I have options. And the truth of the matter is that none of those people who called or had issues could ever do that job because it's a specialized job. I will share this. While I was on YouTube and people say I have no job and begging, I was going through my chaplain's training and I have 4 units of clinical pastoral education. And I'm very proud of that because I complete. And that has opened the door for me to do any and everything when it comes to chaplaincy, when it comes to those types of things, whether it's in the medical scene, whether it's in the corporate scene, whether it's in the criminal justice scene, and I'm doing something else and I'm excited about it. I wish I could share it, but I can't. But no, there's always something going on. And I wish I could tell you all, but we're in the climate now where we have people who are hurt and they want to hurt other people. A lot of people feel that way, Sam 169. A lot of people feel that way. Yeah. You know, Rainy Bowl, and let me say this, the people who are going to stick with you, they're going to stick with you. They're going to stick with you. And one thing I can say about me, if I say I'm going to do it, I am going to do it. I don't scam people. We had our Labor Day event. We were doing the number 2 Labor Day event. Unfortunately, COVID hit. We canceled. We gave everybody their money back. No questions asked. No, if you want your money back. It was no if. You didn't have to tap your feet twice and click a special button on YouTube. We just refunded your money back because that's what we do. We went on a cruise. And like the old psalmist said, let the works I've done speak for me. because a lot of people haven't done anything, haven't done a meet and greet, haven't done an event, and I'm good. I'm good. I am good. You all, I'm just really being real on today. I'm not angry and upset with people. I really feel sorry for people because there are some content creators who are living a tough life. Now, I thought it was going to be difficult when someone called and did some things and I mean, with a job. But see, that didn't have anything to do with me. It really had a lot to do with the other person. But God always provides. He always provides. And had to make some adjustments. But at the end of the day, it all works out. And in 2025, I'll still be in my house. and that's the bottom line. And so that's where I am. But I look at a lot of people. And when I went to Atlanta, and I know that some of you all were really upset with Heidi. I don't think Heidi is uh, a panel killer. I think she was telling her truth and her story. And I realized when I went to Atlanta that roasting and gagging doesn't hurt me. I think it's funny. It's like the dozens to me. But there's always going to be that person who gets hurt because they think they're strong enough to play the dozens. But then when someone gets the best of them, they do something that is very out of the ordinary. And I think that's what happens with us on these channels. A lot of things are hurtful to people, and it may not hurt you, but it hurt them because they want to play by their rules and they want to say everything under the sun about you. But when you come back, then yeah. And let me say what's really bad too. I can honestly say, as a YouTuber, I have never had anybody to do anything for me. And a lot of people don't understand that a lot of these content creators say, well, I never did this, I never did this, but they have other people to do it for them. And I think that's just as weak. And I've seen that happen quite a great deal. So we're in a whole new different territory, you all. And I just see a lot going on. There are some content creators that I respect. If nothing on, I respect them more what they do outside of the beef sector than what they do on the inside. Now we can talk about Food Junkie, and I've gone back and forth with Food Junkie. But one thing I will say about Food Junkie is he gets his butt up and go to work, and he can sew his ass off. Now I know we pick at him with that Fosse stuff, and baby, he had that Alvin Ailey, but baby, he can sew though. Now I never said the man couldn't sew, and he goes to work. Yeah, we fought with a lot of people, but a lot of these people really have their stuff together. Madam Scorpio, I'm not going anywhere. I just think that hurt people hurt people. And I just think that we're in a new era. And I think stupidity and reality stupidity is played. And I think that the writer lives, I would rather have fewer writer lives that are in tune and that can communicate. I would rather have panels of people that can have a serious conversation without all the yelling and the screaming than what we're seeing now. Because that stuff that we're seeing now is vaudeville, step it, fetch it type of mess. And don't get me wrong, even Oprah evolved. Now I know people don't like Oprah now, but Oprah did the Ricky Lake and the type of shock, but she left that at some point in time. And at some point in time, you got to leave that. And you're either part of the problem or part of the solution. And all I see are people causing problems and never coming up with the solution. I go back to Lemon. I don't care if Lemon is bisexual. I don't care if Lemon is trisexual. I don't care if he's polyamorous. I don't care if he's fluid. I don't care what Lemon is, because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to date Lemon. And I'm not interested in Lemon like that. And whoever he decides to love is his business. And when we make sexuality a read, then I side eye the people who make it a read. Because it really tells you deep down where people are with it. They may give you lip service and say they're okay, but they're not. They're not. And this is why I don't screw with a whole lot of people. People get mad because Sister T has her beliefs. See, I can understand Sister T. Sister T is just real. She is saying, this is how I was raised. I'm grappling with that. And again, I may not agree with Sister T, but I am understanding of Sister T. What I don't understand is these people who are supposed to be advocates and allies, but think sexuality is a read. And it's always the men. Women can eat kulala. They can buy computers for another woman. They can do all of this stuff and no one bats an eye. And half of the women, not all, but half of the women in the beef sector are lesbians or bisexual. And they done played in that women's pond one time. But see, that's what we do. That's what we do. So when people get upset because Sister T and I are having a conversation about sexuality, that's your problem. Ain't mine. Because I beat to the beat of my own drum now. I'm not here for that. And again, I'm still gonna get paid. But I don't live for people to like me or live for the numbers, because I figure, these people are so angry that when you make numbers and we do, oh, you think you better now? Oh, he besides himself, he needs to go ahead and get docs. That's how these people think. And I just marvel at that. And then we wonder why we can't get ahead. Just marvel. The beefs are on from Conversation Interactive. There's no need to make anything up. These people, they don't get it. They really don't. Making this whole thing up about Lemon. And the sad part about it is Lemon don't care, because Lemon is saying any publicity is better than none. And I when I was in the beef sector really, really hard and doing that, it didn't really make a difference to me, because once and to this day, once I click this computer off or click this smartphone off, I'm done. I'm done. But I refuse to watch ignorance. I refuse to sit there and watch panels and listen to these people, and they want to make snap judgments and about people, but yet they don't even take care of their dental hygiene or hygiene. They're so upset about where somebody lives and they barely live. And that's the funny part about it. And it seems like articulate, successful, or even people who seem successful really bothers them. Really bothers them. And I'm peeping at a lot. Yeah, St. James is really good, you all. And right now I am really researching some things that's going on in Florida, Church of God in Christ down there, which is terrible. And this is why I don't let people talk to me about religious things, because people sit under this kind of mess. They sit under pastors who will walk out on their wives and go cheat with a man and then preach about gay people the next day. I've seen it all. And if you're really secure in your sexuality, what I do shouldn't bother you. And let me say this to you all. I'm an American. I pay taxes. Who I want to marry or love is none of your business, because it really doesn't adversely affect anyone except me and that person. And so I'm not a second class citizen to anyone. To anyone. And when we all have rights, then we can all get along. But if you deny some people rights over others, you're wrong. And I say that. And I know that makes people mad, but I'm gonna say what I need to say. Well, Geno Jennings has something to prove. But again, I would never debate Geno Jennings because he is really not a well learned man. Just because you can quote scriptures verbatim, just because you can, I mean, a lot of people can quote scriptures, but what's the use of quoting scriptures when you don't know it in context? And that's how I see it. Unapologetically, Mika, I went to the Church of God in Christ in the 80s, in the early 90s. And Church of God in Christ was a force to be reckoned with in the early 80s and the 90s. And I grew up Primitive Baptist first. And I wound up going to Kojic in Florida. Jacob Cohen's was my bishop. uh, what's his name now? Billy Williams, I think, is the bishop, but he's not the bishop anymore. Obviously, they have taken him down because of that Thompson Temple Church of God in Christ fiasco in Pompano Beach, Florida. Now, my mom went to Kojic Church, but I didn't join with her. The pastor there was phenomenal, but I wasn't led to join. I joined Kojic in Miami, and it was Cooper's Temple Church of God in Christ that I joined. And in the 80s and early 90s, Kojic was, but you cannot live off of your yesterdays. Mattie Moss Clark is dead. How do you move on? G.E. Patterson is no longer with us. How do you move on? And I think that Kojic has done. Kojic is his own worst enemy. When you have a denomination that big and you don't have any regionally accredited institutions. And again, I don't count Mason Temple because it's NITC, it's a consortium. But when you don't have any regional accredited institutions and there's no place to go for your ministers to get trained, you're in trouble. Even the Church of God has Pentecostal Theological Seminary in Cleveland, Tennessee, based out at Lee College or Lee University now in Cleveland, Tennessee. And I will give Church of God that. And Church of God is not as big as Kojic. And I'm just marvel at how they just do that. But let me say this, y'all. People like ignorant folk because if you're ignorant, people can pretty much tell you what to do. They don't want people who are smart or think because then they begin to question and they begin to ask questions, and that bothers people. People want folk who will take the scripture, touch not my prophet, do my anointing no harm. They want to go with those scriptures because it gives them supremacy. It gives them the right to do whatever without question. And that's never right. Well, Madam Scorpio, the Mormons, the Church of Latter-day Saints, they're very wealthy. Every time you sleep at a Marriott, you give to their coffers. And a lot of people don't know that the Mormons or the Church of Latter-day Saints owns a lot. They have a bank. They have a lot of companies that are on the stock exchange. They have a lot of wealthy people at the top. Latter-day Saints own most of the farmland in Florida. And people don't understand that, but they do. And so Sheard was trying to connect with them because it may have been an economical windfall for him. And I was very, very perplexed at why he was trying to do that. But see, y'all got to realize, like Gladys Knight. Now, I don't know if she's still a part of the Latter-day Saints, but I truly believe that Gladys Knight joined the Latter-day Saints for business reasons. I never forget that I noticed a trend. Every place Gladys Knight would sing, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir would be there. And I'm like, what is going on? And then come to find out that Gladys Knight was a member. I don't know if she still is, but she was a member of the Latter-day Saints. So it seemed like a religion of convenience and business. So if Gladys was in Atlanta, so was the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. It worked for Gladys because people would love to see the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. But then it worked for the Mormon Tabernacle Choir because then they get exposed to a whole new audience because people want to see that midnight train go to Georgia. Okay. And then folk might get to hear the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. So I'm only saying this, and maybe Sheard saw that and say, you know what, if Gladys made this work, well, maybe I can make it work. Baby, it's about the money. It is about the money. The reason why that church is going through right now in Pompano, because the pastor had $2 million in that church. And they do that. This is why I tell people, before you join Kojic, and if you have an independent church, you better make sure in your clause that your church stays independent. If you take a dime from them, a good case that your church may not belong to you anymore. It's about business. And I hate to say it, but it's about business. And this is why people don't go to church. We understand that a light bill has to be paid. We understand that the church mortgage has to be paid. But baby, this goes on to be bigger things. These bishops are millionaires, and they're off the backs of their people. And when you start going to these churches, you'll see the poverty in these churches. Yeah, they have a few wealthy people. They have a few wealthy people, but the church leans on them. There was a bishop in San Antonio, and one of my friends went to the funeral, and she was disgusted because all that man could talk about was how that lady paid her tithes and offering and all of this stuff. And here he driving a Bentley and living in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in San Antonio. But before the church burnt down, the church did burn down, y'all. I went to this church. They had paneling on the wall. They had those chain link leashes, like those chain links that you used to walk a dog with. They had speakers held up by that. It was a tragedy. I'm like, now this is how your sanctuary looks, but this man is a millionaire, and this is how y'all church look. The church burnt down. They didn't rebuild the church back in the same historic neighborhood. They went out into the suburbs and built this new church. I'm glad they built the new church because I'm like, I hope this man don't take the insurance money and run with it. Look at Saintsville in Dallas area. Bishop Haynes was a millionaire, but the church was just terrible. They didn't take care of the church, and it too burnt down, probably because of wiring. But yeah, he was a millionaire. So I just think it's crazy. Well, they gave him flack for being a Mormon because, again, I wouldn't vote for him because he's a Mormon, not because well, yeah, Mormon doctrine is crazy. They just come to a realization that black people can go to heaven. Black people now can serve in ministry, and it's very few. And they thought that black people did not make a choice between the devil and God. And so that's why their skin was turned black. They believe that everybody has a planet and it's their goal and duty to populate all the planets. They believe that Jesus and the devil were brothers. the when you look into the religion and depth, yeah, this is why a lot of evangelicals would not vote for Romney, but yet they'll vote for a man who's had all of these wives and told the people that he'll pull women by their stuff. But that's what they do. And that's why I don't mess with evangelical people either. And there's a difference between evangelical black and evangelical white. Yeah, Madam Scorpio. It's really some rough stuff. It's really some rough stuff. A lot of people don't know that. So, but y'all look, the church things happen, and I will talk about those as well. And like I said, y'all, I don't know where I'm going, but I know where I'm not gonna go. I'm not going to stupidity. I'm not going to this loud, ratchet, rancorous type of panel deal. Now, if people want that, knock yourself out. And I guess that's what the majority of the people want. And do it. I have had my time and I'm good. I've had my time and I'm good. And I never was the king of anything. I was never the prince of nothing. I've always been Jay Wilson. I don't need no moniker. I don't need no title. I know who I am. And the real deal is my title outside of YouTube pays me more. I'm just saying. You know what, Nate? Occasionally that will happen, but as you notice, I have really just told people to be respectful, and people really have. People really have. I've dropped my link, and people, and notice you all that ratchet people, they don't hit my link. And again, I'm not going to let everybody come on. Now you can come on, but once you start going left, I'll take you out. So people like Uppity can't help herself. Uppity don't know, she doesn't know how to have a civil conversation. She doesn't. It's a lot of content creators. If they're not in the forefront and if they don't get they say, they start yelling and screaming, and we don't have time for that. And you got to realize the moderator is the person who's running the platform. When I go on people's platform, I don't even say anything until I get acknowledged. And once people start acting crazy, I just put myself on mute. Now, have I had some situations where I went off FO? Yes, but that's very far and in between. And let me say this too. I do click on people's links. And people don't think I'm supportive of new people. I'm supportive of new people. I went over to Dragon's channel and I spoke on her channel. Um, it's a couple of content creators. I just they came up on my feed and I happened to go over. And I don't have a problem with blessing them, but I try to be very respectful of their platform. And I mean I'm being real. But sometimes, like I said, I don't share places with people who are ignorant as well. And my thing is, I just cut it off. I'll just stay on mute and let people say what they want to say. I don't even go back and forth with people anymore because some people, that's exactly what they want to do. And as an OG, I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. And I just see a lot of people now, I'm beef sector. I'm beef sector. And at one point, these same people were talking about the beef sector like a dog. And it kills me when people come from different sectors and they talk about the sector and then they come in and I listen to it. And I try to treat people on an individual basis. I really do. And how they treat me. Because again, people will try to around and about tell you who you should or should not talk to. And I think that's crazy too. I mean, what do you all think? What do you all think? I mean, are you all enjoying what you all are getting? And what are you all enjoying? I'm interested. And there's no judgment. I'm not gonna snap on nobody, but I'm just really interested in what you all are enjoying. What are you all getting a kick out of? Maybe I'm missing something, but I think yesterday I really took a good look at some of the people and what they were doing, and I'm like, okay. But what do you all like about the new content? I'm curious. What do you all like? I'll wait, and I'll even put the link down if you want to come up and tell me. But what do you all like? Because obviously people like it, and I'm not mad, and I ain't jealous. I just don't participate in certain things. Now, don't everybody rush to answer that. And I know y'all are writing a whole book on this, so I'll wait. Well, this is the thing. It seems like that's the stuff that people are gravitating to. So why do you think people are gravitating to it? And I'm interested in that because I'm hearing Rainbow says she don't watch it, she's not subscribed. Madam Scorpio said, I'm tired of the new people. But baby, them people like them new folk. And I'm not mad. There's a reason to every season. A time to live, a time to die, a time to laugh, a time to cry. It's a lot. So do you think that it's entertaining, or do you think this is where people are now? I'm just really interested. Well, let me put it this way. I think shows like Jerry Springer and Ricky Lake and the Steve Wilkos show and those types of shows, they did well because it just showed people in a negative light. And people feel good when somebody's life is worse off than theirs, and they feel some kind of way and they'll watch it. And so I just think a lot of that has come into play as well. Well, that's it too. They do love that. Rainy Bow, I agree with you. Madam Scorpio, I agree with you. And Locked and Lovely, I agree with you. It's messy and people like it. And you know what? I ain't mad at people because when I was there, I enjoyed it. But the kind of mess I like to watch, it has a storyline. And again, I keep on bringing up the William Carruthers and the Natasha situation, and it made perfectly good sense. It was a perfect storm. First of all, you have Natasha, and everybody was rooting for Natasha because they felt just read my book and La Girl, La Girl, and Dovey, and them women was trying to talk to William. And Natasha was feeling some kind of way. And everybody was like, oh, and they was looking at William like, oh, and then how William was talking to Natasha, everybody was like, dang. So, everybody was on Tasha's side, right? And baby William was in the hospital room with that oxygen up his nose, baby. It was drama. Now, it was drama. Now, I ain't gonna lie, it was drama. Baby, I fell out my seat. Here you are, should be getting yourself together. And you up here about to see Jesus and arguing on some YouTube stuff. But then when the payments stopped, and what did Natasha do? She went right on over there to Sir King, knowing that William could not stand him. And baby, when I tell you Tasha spilled that tea, and I was like, dang. But then we found out that Tasha was the gangster. Tasha was really the gangster. Okay, she was taking that man's social security check and having that man borrow on money to send her. Tasha was showing things for change. I mean, and I was like, okay, we see what you're doing. And so Tasha said, I ain't getting paid now. You ain't paying that money on time. I mean, it was just like she was a whole trick, and William was a lick. And I'm like, oh, smack. Baby, that was some good stuff. That was some good stuff. Now, that was a good story. That was a good story. You hear me? That was a good story. That was a good story. And it was just, yeah. It's a malicious mess now. Before we had messy players, but only a few evil ones. Yeah. Yeah. But people can't do that. People can't do that. Baby, Dover was shooting her shot. Dover said, baby, I would have just asked for half of the Social Security check. Dover was trying to shoot her shot. It was a different time and a different place. So I like those types of stories. Unfortunately, the situation with Beans, that was unfortunate. And again, but I spoke about it because with that, we can't go with evidence that's not evidencing. Meaning, you can't tell me that you got something and then when you show it, it's like this doesn't prove anything. And they expect me to go with that. And then I think it was a lot of twists and turns. You had Vic blaming Beasley. And I think that was something that we could learn from. That you don't go along to get along, and it's not always easy trying to go for right, but try to be diplomatic and friendly with people. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and so you learn that. But talking about lemon sexuality and who may not like lemon, and then these new people coming over. Like I said, I don't know who this code person is. Um, Now I'm hearing, and this is what I'm hearing. Now I'm hearing that these guys are really attacking beef sector women, but they really shy away from beef sector men unless it's attacking them for sexuality. I'm hearing that. I'm not sure, but I don't know these people. And if you're going to click on my link, we're going to have some respect. And so if you're not going to respect me, or if you're not going to respect what I'm doing, then I'd rather not have you on. And so but see, that's the whole thing. People will do anything to have new content. And if that means we bring new people in, we'll do it. But I'm not going to bring you in to disrespect me. You understand? And if we can't have a civil dialogue, then it's not going to work. Well, people tell you when they're going to do it, and I just think it's sad. I just think it's sad. But again, you all, um, it's lowbrow stuff and it's a lot of stuff. So those new people now, money is here. Everybody's popping up. Yeah, baby. People are really serious with this money, and it's really funny because I people just gave me money, but these people are right out begging, baby. They are right out begging. I mean, they are begging. I ain't doing all this hard work, and y'all ain't give me no coin. Y'all ain't give me, and I'm like, okay, they begging hard. Madam, they begging hard. I heard people begging for dollars and all of this stuff. They begging hard, boo. And it ain't no joke. And it's funny because when I was getting money, everybody had to say something now. And now these people are, oh my God. I just think it's really funny because the bottom line is they were upset because I was getting the money. And it really made them upset. And now you see them and it's like, oh, okay. I just laugh at it. So So, who do you all think has the most entertaining platform in the beef sector at this particular point? And again, y'all can say it because I'm really not competing against anyone. Um, I'm really not. I went to a few people's chats and I've seen around about like 500, 600 and some, but it's like you got almost 10 to 11 people on the platform and everybody is trying to talk at once and then there's a fight that erupts and it's like this is confusing and I just move on because there's so many people on the panels and it's like yeah. You think they smell money? Okay, it's like taking an offering. They flat out disrespectful. Pizarro said she ain't giving her subbies nothing and don't owe them anything. Well, maybe these people like this. A lot of these people like cult like figures where they get insulted and stuff and they love it. They really love it. I don't know why. QB Tracker is funny to me. Okay. Um Yeah, I'm not as funny as I was because, again, I just don't have the strength anymore to deal with the stuff. Same old read, same old mess. And then you really got to look at people. You really have to look at people to know what they're talking about. And I'm like, I'm not up for that. I'm not really trying to, because the content ain't even funny. And so I find myself just doing what I'm doing now because I'm like, I'm not going to be spending time to look at this. This ain't funny. It ain't entertaining. And what y'all really squawking about, it could be solved if people just didn't worry about who's sleeping with who. And yeah, I just don't, yeah. Now, I got a question. St. James is funny. I like St. James. He's very funny. So, can you all tell me three hot topics in the sector? Three hot topics in the sector. Somebody, anybody, three hot topics that is in the sector. And I'm asking questions tonight. Three hot topics in the sector. What are the three hot and pressing issues in the sector? Now, let me say this. I don't know what's going on with 5A channel, but to me, that ain't pressing. And Sean leaving ain't pressing. I don't know. It ain't pressing. I'm just not. I ain't just there. But anyway, Ness really is really funny, but I don't think she will be around long because of this heat. I'm only watching the original beef. You, Mother Tim, Deanna, DKL. Okay. But what is the top three things, you all? Oh my God, the loud panels are no for me. No for me. I don't know what's going on. But I'm asking the questions. What are the three top things that are going on that's going on in the beef sector? Three top things. Now I know that Duchess Kelly Love and Treasure Lane are going back and forth right now. And it seems like people's mamas are being called out, and now folks' husbands are being called out. So I see that happening. I see that happening. And that's what I'm seeing. But anything else, because y'all seem like y'all don't really know. And that's the thing. So DKL and Mother, okay. Treasure and Duchess, that's it. No, it got to be going on. Now, these are old school people. Rainbow, you ready for the next event? Okay. These old school people, I'm talking about the new school. What is the new school giving? What is the new school giving? So somebody said, all I hear is that lemon person being gay. Okay. Um, Madam Scorpio said Lemon, Big, and Bree Wade. Are they talking about Bree badly, y'all? Now let me say this. She is she ain't where look like how that song said, I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not what I used to be. So that's what I'm giving Bree. She ain't where she want to be, but thank God she ain't what she used to be. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Lemon, Begging, and Breeze Wait. Three that we care about, or three that we care about, or three that we care about. Yeah, that you care about. Or not. Somebody said limit sexuality been a topic and who cares? Yeah, I just think that, that ain't no big whoop. If the man is gay, straight, bisexual, you ain't sleeping with him. And if you're not, I mean, if you and Lemon don't have no sexual um situation going on, or y'all not romantically involved, why should it matter to you? Somebody said challenges, bigging, fake fallouts, and makeups, generated storyline, gay for pay, clicks of YouTube, Ponzi schemes. Wow. Now, I don't know what happened to Five's page. And y'all, to be quite honest, I really don't care. I really don't. I really don't. I'm so indifferent. If it comes back, it doesn't matter. Or if it never comes back, it doesn't matter. I'm just so indifferent. I never watched her. I never watched her. So once you start watching folk, now I did see Nicole Tyler and one of her relatives doing this dance, and Nicole looks very well rested. She looks really good. So shout out to Nicole Tyler. I did see her. I'd rather watch Nicole Tyler dance. But Jay, what happened to the young man that used to ride his bike and drink constantly? I think Rico is doing his thing. I don't know where Rico is, but I'm not mad at these people who just don't come back or take a break. I mean, yeah. All I see is panels on every channel, people working for free. Now that's the truth right there. That's the truth right there. I ain't working for free for nobody unless I like you or want to help you with your channel. That's true right there. But was anybody really listening? So y'all see, this is what I'm saying. People are interested in the Duchess Kelly Love and the Treasure Lane situation, and but nobody want to hear about lemon sexuality. But people are they're gonna milk it dry, and this is what the newbies are giving. But people love it, I guess. But it's real lowbrow. It's almost Tyler Perry ish to me. I don't watch Tyler Perry sitcoms and stuff. I didn't even go see Mia Culpa. Babe, I heard it's just and Tyler Perry's plays were really funny, but the movies and stuff and I just don't watch them. I'd rather watch Abbott Elementary. Oh, okay. I just yeah. And so this is what some of these content creators are given. Well, everybody's interested in what they have to. I heard it has mixed reviews. I heard it has mixed reviews. It's always the same recycled reads about James. Once you heard one person read him, you heard them. Yeah, and I think that's old stuff. I really do. I really do. I just think it's old. And there are no friends on YouTube. There are no friends on YouTube. But like I said, I don't have uh, I look, y'all. Kelly Love came to San Antonio. We had a good time, and the next thing you know, I'm being attacked by him. Kelly Love always wants to do stuff about you, but then if you say something about him, it's different. And I'm not with that one way. I'm not with that one way. And when people do stuff like that, I just back off. I just back off. I mean, I have given you permission to use stuff, and if you had to ask me, and I'm a good sport about things, but Duchess, mm-mm. Yep, yep, yep. And again, he talks about people, and I don't have a problem, but people don't bother you no more, and people just leave you alone, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I will say it gets real petty with gay men, and that's why I don't mess with a whole lot of them because some of them can be real ballroom queen, snippy, very persnickety, and I don't have time for that. Now that is funny because breast Watkins really do that. Let me say this, you all. I don't. I leave people alone. You show me once, and like I said, I'm a forgiving person, but mm-mm, you just leave people alone. And yeah, yeah. What is doing their big one? So that's really interesting. But let me say this, y'all. Nobody can really tell me anything that's really going on, with the exception of Lemon, people jumping on panels, people being rude to each other. And that's it. I think it's really interesting that you all are saying that the reads are not great because they've heard all of the reads with Mother, and this is what I'm saying. But see, that's the easy way. These people don't get on platforms and talk it out. They'd much rather do this, but hey, it is what it is. For the people I watch that I find interesting are you, Olivia, Miss T, the Hood Table, and Room Shaker. I have gone to the Hood Table and listened to her a little bit. I catch her. I went to Miss Olivia's page to listen to her. Um, I need to go to Room Shaker. Room Shaker will come over here and support, and I really need to go over to support Room Shaker. But yeah, there are a few people that I really do watch. I miss the fun stuff: skits, impersonations, reading the truth as we see it, this line on people and doing it. Yeah. I mean, y'all, let me tell you something. We used to do them skits, and them skits used to be so funny. Um, or we would do a read and it would be so funny. But see, we got off of that. And we got off of that when people started doxing. And again, y'all, I'm never saying doxing is right. I don't care if I did it, I don't care who did it. It is wrong. And I think that it's taken the room somewhere where really good talent ain't gonna do it. Uh, I'll probably go to bed at 2 o'clock. I'll probably go to bed at 2 o'clock. I'm a person who can go to bed at 2 o'clock and not automatically get up at 7:30. I don't know why, but I got that built-in clock that my body will wake me up at 7:30, and I just can't stay in the bed. Really, really, because if I'm out on YouTube, I am watching television. You don't get up early anymore. I don't have to. It depends on how my shift is. So yeah, because I work at the QT, so I work at the Quick Trip, and so I used to work them early morning quick trips, but I don't do the early mornings no more. So yeah, so I don't do the Quick Trip. Really? I didn't know he was likable. I don't. I haven't watched Ken since the situation with Shelley and Noble. Well, I don't come on as much, and you all, what would I talk about? The panels, and I'm not going to, tear down Bree. Um, y'all, let me tell you something. I got a lot of emails concerning that lady picture, and and somebody said they got a key, and somebody said, what did she think she was doing? And I told people, baby, you couldn't tell her she wasn't doing it. And I said she got her confidence back. And so, but people were going in. And I'm like, I can't, mm, yeah. So allegedly Johnny Mac struck fire and she's not appealing it to get the channel back. She was on QB acting like a victim and like men attack her when she has. Interesting. Um, I think Reed said a lot about Fi Babe and how she feels. I'm so indifferent. I don't care if her page comes back. I don't care if it comes up. It doesn't matter. I'm not. I don't care. I just don't. I don't even watch it. I don't even watch QB. So, um, Queendom asked, why did she post that picture? Because she wanted. Look, any publicity is better than none. She knew she was going to get support and she was going to get shamed or victimized. And so she didn't care. And she went right with that picture because she knew it was going to get buzz and content. That's all I got to say. Now, me personally, yeah, I would have waited a little bit more. Me personally, but hey, it ain't my picture; it's her picture, and if she felt comfortable, hey, but I would have waited. I would have waited a little bit more. I would have waited. But hey, everybody different. To each his or her own. It amazed me how she had like a victim and Shay attacked men, but when the men respond and defend, I don't even deal with that anymore. I really don't deal with that anymore. Fake bonding, it's crazy. And that's a picture of her with less weight. You said earlier it looked like she lost weight. She did. She did. I think she's losing. I think she's losing. She ain't where she want to be, but thank God she's not where she used to be. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You can do political celebrity commentary in a little roast and gag. You're just hilarious or whatever you talk about. Even serious is funny sometimes. She is not supposed to post herself because she's overweight. I ain't say that. Personally, I wouldn't. I mean, number one, let me say this. Now, I'm only talking about me. I'm not talking about Bree. I'm talking about me. If I were that size, which I've never been, but if I were that size, it would have to be drastic weight loss for me to come on. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, everybody is different. Everybody is different. Um, but for me, yeah. Now I am gonna say this. Yeah, she said she's down over 100 pounds. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. she is going to have to drink plenty of water. And I think even with the water, she may have to get surgery for the skin. Some people have to, and some people don't. But, you know, the skin has stretched so much. And so if you do not drink a lot of liquids, preferably water, it's going to be some surgery. It's going to be some surgery because you lose the weight, but you have that skin. And thank God I've never had that issue. But I drink a lot of water, and there's going to be a lot of abdominal exercises, a lot of planks, and you got to drink water. But it depends. And like I said, I'm no doctor, but I do know that a lot of people who have been really heavy, when they start losing that weight, because you really lose it, you all. You really do lose it. I mean, her shoe size is going to change. Everything changes. Everything changes. Your neck size change. Everything changes. So yeah. Yeah, she really, and that's no shade. That is no shade. I mean, that's real. That's real. So when I was at the gym, when I was at my trainer, there were some people who lost really a lot of weight, but like especially for men, because their chest sags and then they wind up, oh my God, and they gotta get they gotta get that surgery to tighten it up. Because it does play a role and you got all that skin. So what do you do with it? But I think the water hydrates, it makes things, yeah, yeah. Water has a big deal to do with that. So she needs to start lifting weights. That helped my skin a lot. I watched my skin tighten up quickly. Yeah. What took me out was when she said she was gonna give her old clothes away. And away. Baby, I'm not going there. Nope. No Jesus. I'm not going there. Mm-mm. I don't, I'm not going there. Okay. Hmm. I'm not going there. It's a process. It is a process, you all. And everybody's body type is different. Everybody's body type is different. So, yeah, yeah. Let me say this. I gave my clothes away because my waist at the time was ranging in the 40s, like 42, 46. I think 46 was the highest I got. I am actually at a 34 right now, trying to get to a 32. Trying. So, yeah. Yeah. And that's all I can say. I'm only talking about me. Uh-huh. Well, you can lose it fast. I mean, you go to the gym, you work out, you do intermittent fasting, but you gotta drink a lot of water. You got to hydrate, and um, I'm about proteins, vegetables, and complex carbohydrates, which can be fruit put in yogurt, and I drink a whole lot of water. And I think that's really key. You got to. But like I said, um, yeah. Okay. All right, locked and lovely. All right. So yeah, but y'all trying some of y'all trying to be really nasty on the sneak tip. I see, I know your words. Um, but really, I don't I mean personally I wouldn't take a picture like that. Um yeah, 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 yeah. A weight loss challenge? Mm, I don't know. That's a good question. Let me tell y'all something. I lost weight for many reasons. I had some clothes that I had to wear. And also, y'all know I like going on roller coasters. And I said, I got to lose this weight because I like getting on roller coasters. And let me tell you what was the most embarrassing thing. We were at the amusement park and this lady was too big. And baby, they was trying to push that lap bar down. And baby, people, they had three men trying to push it. Baby, after that second push, I'll be like, let me out. Because again, if them people got to do all that pushing down, do you really feel secure when that roller coaster gonna take that dip and it's one of those hybrid roller coasters where it's a lot of dips and a lot of turns and it's almost like that Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens. I don't know if y'all ever seen that Iron Gwazi, but it's a lot, baby. That dip is a dip and it's a lot of barrel turns and stuff. And I'm like, boo, don't fight the people. Just get up and leave because my thing is I wouldn't feel safe going under them barrel turns and and they could barely latch the thing and I don't want to be dead and unalive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I didn't want that to be me. And she was very embarrassed because she couldn't get on. They said, I'm sorry, man, we can't let you on the ride. That was enough right there. I said, no, because I like some roller coasters. Now, I really like some roller coasters. And baby, it got to click real good. Click it real good. Click it. Click it good. Click it real good. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby. Click up on this. Da 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 da. Ow! So anyway, it got to click, and it got to click a lot of times. So it need to be like click, 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 click. Okay, not click, because that scares me. That means I'm one click away from being thrown out of a roller coaster, and I'm just being real. So okay. I don't know why nobody ain't have no weight loss challenge. All this food, baby, have a weight loss challenge or some a smoother challenge. I don't know, but no, that's too much like right. That's too much like right. And a weight loss challenge. Now, see, this is what the weight loss challenge should be. Everybody comes in and get weighed for their original weight, and every week you gotta come to see if you lost some weight or gained some weight, and it'll be like the biggest loser. Okay, the biggest loser, and I think that would be awesome. You know what I'm saying? And again, you gotta have the same scale and stuff. And yeah, I think that would be a good idea. She has to exercise, not just take Ozempic. Okay, okay. Thanks, Faye. I went on a diet with you before your first cruise after becoming a content creator, bro. J. Okay. I'm on a weight gain journey. I want to gain 10 pounds. I've been drinking protein shakes. Okay. My doctor told me I was too young to have high blood pressure, so I lost weight. I was scared into getting okay, MT. What diet do you do, Locked and Lovely? Okay, Brie was really nice at first. She as became a mean girl. That's why I roast her. Okay. A lot of people say she's a mean girl, but anyway, my sister went through that embarrassment at Universal Studios. I was so embarrassed for her. Baby, they do it in front of everybody. And it'd be like they be trying to click that thing. No, no. Cause you're gonna be embarrassed if you get on it. First of all, I don't want to be on no roller coaster where three people gotta click that thing down. All right. If one person can't do it, then I ain't getting on it. Because first of all, that thing going upside down, and I'm not trying to be flying out, okay? Because all it's gonna hold you pretty much is that shoulder harness. Okay. So anyway, I'm not trying to do that. And then they'll make you get out of line. And so, and people be looking, girl, people be looking, no, sir, Bobby Jr. Well, they durable, but they have a specific weight and yeah. Brady both stop. Well, I don't know. Intermittent fasting and walking at first, then join the gym. I just eat right most of the time, jog and lift weights. Now, yeah, okay. Real content without a panel challenge. Stop saying you have a tiny waist when you look pregnant with quadruplets. I don't understand how people don't have no teeth in the front, but eating all that food. Baby, that's the thing. You probably see this is why you need all your teeth. Because with all your teeth, you can chew the food. And I think people just eat big chunks of food. And that may do something. They do walk you out in front of everybody. I was scared for Bree when she was screaming at you saying, "You not my daddy, Jay Wilson." I thought she was gonna pass out for real. Madam Scorpio. I hear her voice clearing up. I think her voice even clearing up. So I'm just glad that she's doing okay. She had her little Madonna bustier on there. Okay. Okay. She had a little Material Girl bustier. And then she had her Plant City Strawberry Festival pants on. I'm like, okay, girl. I said, okay, girl, you better do that. Okay. All right. Her face is all beat. I'm like, okay. hmm I'm like, all right, girl. So I ain't mad at her, baby. You couldn't tell her 2 cents, honey. Okay. Baby, she was an Ashley Stewart model, honey. She was honey Ashley Stewart and Lane Brand. I'm like, girl, you better go ahead. Auntie. Had a little titty meat all out. I was like, okay, we see you down at that. Baby, I didn't know it was a concert. I thought it was like a fair. So, girl, I thought it was at a fair. I was like, is this the Central Florida Fair? I mean, I'm like, where they at? Okay, but it was a concert. It was a concert. It was a concert. I'm like, girl, you better go. So y'all start hating. Again, she's doing what she needs to do. And if it's for her health and she's getting healthy, I ain't mad at it. Y'all can't be nasty now. I saw Kwani go over to that Dobie panel. Ooh, it made Dobie so mad. And Dobie started talking real fast. I knew it was over there. It's a lot of stuff that's going on, y'all. It's a lot of stuff happening. But like I said, I think the last really funny, gut wrenching type thing was William Carruthers, part one, and then part two when Natasha told it. Baby, that William Carruthers thing had me laughing. I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this stuff up. Pastor, you used to do something so petty that just used to tickle me. Oh my God, the funny memories. Yeah, because I can do that, y'all. I really can. I can really be petty, but it's easy, and I ain't trying to. Yeah, yeah, I ain't trying to do all of that. I'm just happy that the lady losing weight. It'll extend her life, and her bones will thank her for it because yeah, yeah. I really did it too because I'm an older man and going. And let me tell y'all something. A lot of my contemporaries, they looking real sappy and happy. They look. First of all, the weight does make you look older. And so a lot of my contemporary, a lot of people who I went to school with, I'm like, let me tell y'all something. If drugs ain't making these people look old, the alcohol making them look old. If the alcohol ain't making them look old, then the weight is making them look old. And I've just had a couple of friends die of diabetes and heart failure. And again, God's willing, I'll be next week 54, and I want to make it, and I want to make it healthy. Who called Nika an ape? Madam Scorpio, who you talking about? Who called Nika an ape? He's back on Nika's panel. I believe he did call her an ape. So you think I see people looking younger with a fluffier face, they lose weight and they start looking weird. No, let me say this. Oh, William, okay. Let me say this. When you lose weight, you do look crazy. And when you lose weight, you have to know that once you get to your ideal weight, you will fluctuate, you know, but it takes a while. You do look crazy, but after a while, it comes out. So whenever I really start going to lose the weight and start my intermittent fasting and stuff, people be like, well, what you doing? And it's really interesting because you do look crazy. Um, but especially if you know how to lose a pound or two a day, especially if you know how to do that, and you do start looking crazy, and then that weight evens out. I always tell people though, I exercise Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I do cardio, meaning I'll walk or run the dog with the dog on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because you always want to stay active and do something. And then you want to watch your diet. And I think it really looks good. The head starts looking too big for the body. When they lose weight, you look evenly toned. But when people lose drastic amount, it looks weird sometimes. Well, it does. So it does. It doesn't matter who you are, because at the end of the day, um, you can't target weight loss. You lose, like I said, you lose a neck size. So Bree, when she really starts the weight loss, I mean, not to say she's not starting it now, but when she gets to the 200s and below, neck size, she's gonna have to get new shoes because her foot, all of that, y'all. It's waist, calves, chest, all of that stuff. All of that stuff is gonna change. All of that stuff is going to change, especially shoe size, especially shoe size. I really notice things in the shoe size. I still have the same length, but the width, and then the neck size. The neck size is going to take a role as well. So, yeah, it's really a transformation, So, yeah, I ain't mad. The only thing With Ozempic and Manjaro, um, what happens when you stop using it? What happens when you stop using it? And that's the big thing. And I think that's how drug companies get people, hooked. Because what do you do when you get to your ideal weight? So, Madam Scorpio, I really never looked at him either. That's another person who I didn't look at. I didn't look at him that much either. So, well, look, y'all, it is time for me to go ahead and lay it down now. And I appreciate you all for coming on over. Um, Content will be anything. I'm just open. If something exciting happen, I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about lemon sexuality, and I just don't have time for that. Yeah, yeah, the neck for sure. Yep, for sure. Well, look, y'all take care. Y'all have a great night. Thank you all for coming over and sharing. And I'm sure we'll have more to talk about. Peace and love. Y'all take care.